Hey everybody, what's going on? Mr. Tony of the Dead here, and I have another movie review for everybody out there, and this one's going to be on Blood Games. This is from Vinegar Syndrome, and it's directed by Tanya Rosenbrg. This movie follows this female baseball team, and they play a game against these obnoxious, gross male team, and they end up winning against them. And I guess the males didn't take it, too good, so being that they're so gross and disgusting, they end up trying to rape two of the girls on a team, and the other girls on the team find out about this, and they kind of like try to take vengeance, and then in this process, starts something else. And so now the girls are on the run of their life, while the rest of the guys from the team and from town are after them, and they want to kill them. Movie came out in 1990, and one of the titles of this that is probably the most interesting one from Australia is Baseball Bimbos in Hillbilly Hell, which is an interesting title. I think they should have did that as a reverse one on here, but I guess people would get very offended by it. But I think Blood Games is probably the better one to go with, because as interesting as that other title is, it's very offensive, and I don't think it would be as catchy as Blood Games. But yeah, Blood Games is one of those that was on VHS. I had it, and it's kind of rare. It never was on Blu-ray before, and now Vinegar Syndrome finally, was nice enough to put it out for us. It's so cool that they got the rights to that. It was one of those movies that were the secret, secret surprise movie for their halfway to Black Friday sale. And I had it pre-order because I'm a subscriber, monthly subscriber for them, so I was getting this no matter what. But when they revealed it, was like, oh, that's cool, finally, that's coming to Blu-ray. And I'll just say right off the bat, the movie is really good. I enjoyed it. I had a good time watching this. It's interesting because they're going off against these guys, and these guys, like I said, the guys are disgusting. They're like the typical, as you see in movies, backwoods males. All that they care about is drinking and rape and hunting and shit like that. So they go after the girls, and they're in the woods. They chase them in the woods and stuff, and so there's like the element of the woods, and then but like something happens in this. And I don't want to say what it is that gets to this point. It's like it's just a baseball game, and as horrible as it is, they didn't actually rape them. They were trying to rape them, but like something happens also besides that make these girls targets. And I don't want to say what happens exactly when it comes to that. It's kind of early on, but I just don't want to ruin it for everybody if you haven't seen it. But yeah, the girls, gorgeous. The whole team is gorgeous, and the guys are not. Up until now, I believe it was a DVD. Honestly, I don't even know. But this was filmed on 35mm, and now again restored over 2K on Blu-ray. And it looks fantastic, and it sounds fantastic. It's a very, very nice edition. Like it's very, very clear. Just fantastic edition, to be honest. The movie itself is really good too. Like I said, like there's one thing where like they're being chased in a movie, like they're being hunted, people are being hunted in that. But it's kind of scary because like if you're in this situation, it's like they're on the road, they have their tour bus thing, and all they have is each other. So like they're like kind of in the middle of nowhere. It's kind of scary to think about like that kind of situation. Like what would you do if that were you and you're literally being hunted, So you could die, and then some of them even get worse before it happens to them. It just goes from there. One guy that was in this that was exciting to see was Gregory Cummings, who most people would know him from Always Sunny in Philadelphia. He plays Mac's dad named Luther. But most other people might know him from Hack-O-Lantern. He played the main character in Hack-O-Lantern. So it was cool to see him in this. I never saw him in another movie before, and but the sad thing is, it doesn't really last as long as I would like in this. But hey, it was cool to see him in something else. Another character that I always loved seeing in movies, in the 80s and everything. I first saw him as the homeless guy in Back to the Future. I don't know if his name is Bread or Brett. There's the way he says that's Brett. But George Buck Flowers. is in this, and he plays. He's creepy. He's a creepy old man, but he seems like he's like the most friendly one of them, but yet he seems pressured because of them. I don't know, but it was great to see him in this. I always love seeing him in movies. Laura Albert played Babe, which, you know, is kind of funny because, you know, she's obviously a female and her name is Babe, and, you know, it's a baseball movie, so the Babe, you know, Babe Ruth, but that's what I got from it. But like, her name is Babe, and it was actually, I think, her first acting movie. She did like most of her own stunts. She had a stunt woman, but she most of the time was like, I could do that, I could do that. And she took some acting lessons, and then she ended up going to school. She won acting lessons, and she ended up going to school for 2 years for it and everything. So this was cool, you know, that she got to do this. And there's an interview on here with her. She pretty much looks exactly the same. She just looks a little older, but her hair is pretty much the same. She looks exactly the same. Very, very, very beautiful woman. And like I said, the whole baseball team is gorgeous. They're all gorgeous women. And she even says about how she's friends with some of them nowadays. One girl in the movie, I think her name is Sabrina, lives down the street from her. They see each other, you know, often. And she became friends with other people in the movie for years, and lost touch with some of them. But you know, maybe this will reunite them somehow. There's also an interview on here with Ken Carpenter, who I know he's been in a lot of things, but I know him from Doc in Hellraiser 3. He was the video camera guy, but I know he's been in a lot of things, but he's in here, and they interview him, and he kind of looks the same, but he's just a lot older, because he was kind of old in this movie, and you're talking 30 years ago. So, you know, but you could tell it's him, but he's not spunky like he was in this movie. Even in the movie, like I say, he's a little older. Yeah, I guess he's probably in his 30s in the movie, and he moved pretty good. Maybe even the early 40s for all I know, but he moved pretty good, I thought, you know, through the movie for what his character was doing. His character is like an old army guy, like not an old army guy, but he used to be in the army, and something happens and makes him go off against these girls, and he's kind of like all camouflaged up, you know. A crossbow and all that kind of thing, so like he kind of goes full out Rambo in a way, but his character, you know, you kind of understand where he's coming from in a way, but yet he's also sleazy at the same time. But yeah, now I'll show you what's inside here. And here you have this very cool slipcover. It comes off, and here you have Blood Games. It's a very, very cool cover, you know. Here, I like that. This is kind of embossed, comes out. I like the colors on here. I like, you know, the dark greens and that. That's embossed. That's embossed. On the back you get a different image too. And again, this is embossed. And that's their bust there, and they're going after with a baseball bat. I like that the back is different, not just, you know, plain. I like both of these images, to be honest. And then you open up the case, and inside here is this reversible sleeve, and this is the original cover. You know, I like this cover, but it kind of like doesn't tell you anything. Like, it's just Blood Games, and there's some girls, and there's a baseball bat and stuff. Whatever. And then you reverse to this side, and then there's this one. In a way, it kind of reminds me of Sleepaway Camp. I guess it's because of the frames in a way. But, you know, that one I think is better than this one, of course. And then it shows like some special features on here, which I'll show you. But then you got the spine here, and, you know, Blood Games. And it's a little different font on this side, so that's pretty cool. And also, a lot of people might be wondering this. I guess everybody got another extra copy of one of these, right? And I was wondering why. You know, was that a mistake? Did they send me an extra one? And apparently, and looking at it is true, on the back of the one that was in with the case, it actually cuts the words off. It just says in a brand new, and then there's no more words. But it actually says in a brand new 2K restoration. So Vinegar Syndrome, being as an awesome company as they are, wanted to fix the problem. Instead of being like, oh, sorry about that, deal with it, they had a whole nother bunch of sleeves printed up, put in with your order, and now, you know, you have the corrected one. I honestly didn't even notice that, but I was like, why did I get this as a mistake? Should I send it back? And I asked in the group, and that's what everybody told me. Like, you know, that's, you know, cut it off. So just a couple words, 2 words technically, they fix the problem. So that right there, that's a good company. And right there's the special features. If you want to pause it now and check them out, you can. And this does come with the Blu-ray, no DVD, and the Blu-ray is region A. So yeah, that's Blood Games. Very, very glad I got to see it, you know, especially on Blu-ray. Glad it came out on Blu-ray. I know that the VHS is a little pricey, you know, out of a lot of people's ranges, but now Vinegar Syndrome made it affordable for everybody if you want to see this movie. I'm sure the slipcovers are going to sell out sometime, and who knows, maybe it'll go out of print sometime as well. But, you know, I would say get it now while you can. At the moment I'm recording this, Vinegar Syndrome's site is still down because they're still sending orders out from the halfway to Black Friday sale. Some of us are lucky enough to have our order already, and some people are still waiting. But, you know, they're doing everything they can, especially during this time. So, yeah, I would say definitely check this movie out. This was a lot of fun, very rewatchable, and a lot of likable characters. I would say mainly just the females, except for, you know, Buck, George Flowers on the male team. But yeah, I would say check this one out. It's cool, especially if you like again, people being hunted by humans, you know, hunting humans, if you like that kind of thing. But like I said, the image looked really, really nice on this. Fantastic quality, sounded great, captions were good. Really, really liked it. But yeah, check this one out, and I really enjoyed it, and like I said, glad to see it. But yeah, that's it. That's all I'm going to say. But make sure you give this video a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and follow me on any one of the social media links in the description box below. If you're interested in this, I'll put a link below where you can go and purchase it. I'll also put a trailer below, but like I always say, proceed with caution. It may contain spoilers. Well, that's it, everybody. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you later. Bye.